All right. So we're going to get into Twilio texting today. And I want to start off by answering the question you just asked is like, what is this and why would you use it? And as you know, this is part of the command class, right? So it's something to do with command is what we're talking about. All right, so here's what we're talking about today. Twilio is a service that you can sign up for if you want. And Lauren, let me just say on Zoom, just come off a mute and talk if you want to, because I am really bad at noticing when people like raise their hand. So it's not on purpose. I'm not trying to ignore you. I just, don't notice. So
yes, ma'am, we'll do.
All right, thank you. So the reason you'd want to use Twilio is that it lets you have command communicate with people on your behalf. Okay, so here's an example of where I've used Twilio texting that has been great. I do a lot of online leads, and online leads, you have to follow up with them a really long time. Like when I do a Facebook ad, for example, somebody might click on the Facebook ad, they might not answer my phone call for 9 months. It could be over a year. It could be a really long time. And the reason for that is a lot of online leads are just really, really early in the process. So the reason they're not returning my call is they're not ready to buy a house yet. They were just clicking around. They saw a pretty house. They liked it. They're thinking someday I want to buy a house, but they're not ready yet. So it's a really long follow-up. Well, what I'm using Twilio for is Twilio is part of command, and you can have Twilio automatically be texting people on your behalf. They think it's just coming from you, and you just set it up and forget it, and it just is going and communicating with them. Okay, so example of this, not that long ago, you'll hear the story again because I just think it's so funny. Not that long ago, I had run, I run Facebook ads all the time. And so all of the people, I have probably about 450 buyer leads in my command that are all from online leads. And so all of these people are getting emails and texts from me, and sometimes phone calls from me, just kind of all in a system. So each person, when they click on a Facebook ad for me, I put them on smart plans that run for 2 years, 2 years of follow-up. Okay, so the smart plan is working like this. Somebody clicks on my Facebook ad. I'm in the middle of teaching a class right now. So let's say it happened right now. I'm not looking at my phone, right? I'm here. So if somebody were to click on my Facebook ad right now, the earliest I could reply to them is in a couple hours, because I have a couple things, I have something right after this, right? So it'd be a little while. Well, I have my command set up so that command automatically texts them right away as soon as they click on that Facebook ad. Sometimes command does that and that person replies to me even before I know it's happened. It's just completely automated. So a while back, I'm driving and my phone rings and this guy says, "Hey, this is Derek." And then he starts going on and on about, some house. I have no idea who I'm talking to. And I'm driving, so I can't look anything up. So I just kind of, play along with the conversation. And then when I got to the office, I looked him up, and it turned out he was one of those online leads. And I had been using Twilio to text him. I'd been sending him emails, all on smart plans, automated. And every once in a while, I've been calling him, but he had never picked up the phone, never returned a message, nothing. But because of the texts he was getting from me and the emails and everything, he felt like he knew me enough to say, "Hey, this is Derek." So that's what's so great about it, is once you hook Twilio into your command, you can use smart plans to have it automatically sending texts for you that people might respond to. And it helps you get some leverage. If I had to spend that time actually sending all of those 450 people, texting all 450 of those people every couple of times a month or however many times it is, take me forever, right? And it wouldn't be worth my time either, because a lot of those online leads will not want to ever buy a house. So it's great leverage.
So,
yeah.
One can't work without the other, like smart plan needs Twilio or Twilio.
Smart plans don't have to have Twilio, but if they're going to send a text message, they do. So the smart plan can send emails without it, It can give you tasks. It can tell you to call people, but it can't send a text message unless you bring Twilio into your command.
Twilio makes his own text. You don't have to put no text in there.
You're going to say what you want the text to be, and then Twilio does it for you. Okay, so for example, I might say, here's another example. Pretend I have an open house this weekend. All right, and I'm going to get, maybe I'll get 10 people come to that open house. I should be following up with those people until, you know, for a long time, until they come back and we're ready to buy a house, or I hear that they bought it with somebody else or whatever. I should keep following up with them. It just makes it so much easier to follow up. So if I wrote a smart plan for this open house this weekend, I might write a smart plan like this. I might say, first, I want you to send them a text thanking them for coming to the open house. Then I want you to send an email, you know, thanking them for coming to the open house with a link to the house. And then I want to wait a day, and then I want to have a task to make a phone call. And then I want to wait 2 days and send another text. You follow what I'm saying? It's like the smart plan has step by step by step by step what all I want command to do. And then when I use Twilio, that texting piece can happen for me. Now you can do the texting with Twilio even without a smart plan. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to use it. But in order to use it, you got to turn on Twilio in your command. Lauren, are you in front of a laptop right now?
I'm not.
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of demo this, and then Jamil doesn't have one here with him either. So you can kind of watch. Oh, you got it. Okay, good. Good. All right, so before you can do anything with Twilio, you have to add it into your commands. You have to turn it on. Okay, and Twilio costs, the lowest plan is $3 and something a month. So it's not super expensive, but you have to, you know, turn on the level you want. So I'm going to show you this first. Up in the where my name is in the upper right corner, if I click on that and go down to settings, okay, the first thing I'm going to see is some different things I can integrate with command. You may have already used DocuSign before. That's connected to your command, right? So command can connect to lots of different things. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Twilio is at the bottom. And you can see for me, I've already got Twilio connected because it just says manage. So if you haven't done yours yet, it'll say connect. So if you click connect, it'll give you a choice of adding Twilio in there. I can't show it on my screen because I've already connected it. What I can show you though is the pricing. So I'm just going to show you what the pricing is for Twilio. And I would recommend that everybody do the cheapest setting at first. Eventually, if you decide you need more than that, you can always upgrade it. But most people can get by with the lowest one. So the lowest one is up to 300 texts a month. And that's $3.16 a month. They do carry over. So if you don't use them all, they'll just get put onto your next month. So, you know, it's pretty cheap. And then if you wanted to upgrade to 600, it's $5.32 a month. So it's not that expensive. As part of setting up your Twilio, you're also going to choose a phone number. Everybody always asks me, can't I just use my own cell phone number? No, you can't. And it's an FCC thing. It's like a government thing. It cannot work. Like these automated systems can only use a separate phone number. So then everybody asks me, well, how do people know? You know, like so here's what you do. I'm using that Twilio number for people I haven't met yet. You know, so all these online leads, you know, they haven't met me yet. And I'm also using it for people that I've met that I don't know that well, who like my fans and family are going to know my cell phone number. You know, they've got me in their phone. I don't use it as much with them, but for the people that I'm sort of, you know, just trying to get to have a conversation with, it works great for that. So when you choose your Twilio number, you're going to come to a screen where it's going to ask you to type in the beginning of the phone number. And what they want you to do is just put in your area code. Okay, so you would put in 410-443. What is that beeping? Is that your computer?
Yeah, I think my computer got about.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, we'll just be able to watch. So I can't, because I've already got it set up, it won't show you on the screen, but it'll take you to a screen where it'll walk you through choosing a phone number. Okay, and then choosing what level you want. Okay, so you'll do all of those things, and then you'll have Twilio. All right, so then once you have Twilio set up, here's a couple of ways you can use it. And I should have said this in the beginning. Let me just say it right now. This class is not going to take the whole hour. It never does, but I have to have it as its own thing because Twilio is a separate thing. So we're just going to see how this works. Oh, we got one more person coming in. Okay, so you guys can see my screen now, and I'm just still in command. Let's just take a look at how you might do this. Sorry, every time I'm on, oops. Let me just get out of here. Settings, okay. I'm gonna close that. All right, so here's a couple of ways I could use Twilio. The first and easiest way is just if I want to send a text message to a whole bunch of people. Okay, so give you an example of this. Let's say that I have an open house coming up this weekend. I just want to send out a text to everybody in my command who is a buyer lead. Okay, so let's try it. Here's my command. This is my actual real command. This is, the real thing. All right, so I'm going to start by looking at some tags. So right now you can see I have, I move my Zoom screen out of the way. For me personally, in my command, I have 3,489 people. Okay, it's a lot. Most of those are people I don't know. Okay, most of them are strangers. All right, so I don't want to send this text out to all of them. I want to just send it to the people who are potential buyers, people that have said that they're a buyer lead. So I'm going to click on filters and click on tags, and I'm going to search for my tag that's buyer lead. So when I apply that filter, now instead of seeing 3,000 whatever, now I'm seeing 439 people who are tagged as buyer lead. All right, I'm only seeing 10 of them right now. I'm seeing 1 to 10 of 439, but I could see all of them at once if I just click on that 1 to 10 and change that to 500. So I can see up to 500 contacts at a time. All right, we've got 439. Let's say I wanted to send a text to all of them. Now, I'll say this before I even do it. It's best practice to send text messages to only 200 individual people a day. And the reason for that is if you're sending more texts than that to so many people a day, your carrier, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, whatever, whoever it is that you have, they're going to think you're a spammer and your text messages won't go through again. So it's a best practice not to send it to so many people a day. So let's just say, I say, okay, I'm going to just send to the first 100 of them right now. And then tomorrow I'll send to some more people. Maybe I'll do 200. All right, so let's do it. So here's 100 people. I'm showing 100 people right now. I'm going to select all. And as soon as I have more than one contact selected, this little thing's going to pop up here that says select bulk action. You're not going to see that in your command unless you have people selected. You know what? Here's what I can do. From select bulk action, okay, I've got all these things I could possibly do, right? One of the things at the bottom of the list is send text message. Okay, so it brings it up for me. Now I selected 100 people. It's saying it's only going to send out 67 messages. And the reason for that is not all those people have a phone number in the contact. So I'll have, sometimes people will respond to my online lead and they will put a fake phone number in, right? So then I delete that, right? All right, so I selected 100 people, down to 67 people are actually going to get my text. I'm not actually going to do it because I don't really want to. We're going to go all the way to the end. All right, so there's my there's all my people that I've got there. If I scroll down here, I could type in whatever I want to text to them. All right. So please come to my open house. And you're going to take a longer message. Okay. But you type whatever it is you want. And then if I were to click verify and send, it would send that text message out to all of those people.
So that comes from Twilio.
It uses my Twilio phone number. Yes.
Will they know that it's you?
Well, that's the thing is these are strangers. They don't know my personal cell number, right? So they don't know any different, right? They think that phone number is me. I have two phone numbers now. I have my phone number, my regular cell number, and I have this other Twilio number that people also will get texts from. Now, it's a good question. So what Jamil's saying is, well, how do they know it's you? I'm really using it for strangers more than anything. Some agents do it differently. Some agents train all of their people that they know. Actually, I shouldn't say train, but they make sure everybody understands that these are both my phone numbers. I don't do that. The way I do it is I use my Twilio number for the people that I'm not yet in communication with. I use them for strangers. You could use it for your friends and family though too. If you're going to do that, then anytime you send out a text message, you're going to need to put your name in there. If they already have, you would just put your name in there. I even sometimes will put my name and then I'll put my cell number after it and say, here's my, Kirsten, and then here's my cell number so that they know that it's me.
Okay.
Personally, I'm mostly using it for strangers though.
Those phones they're not in your phone.
No, none of them are. These are all strangers in command that are not in my phone.
Okay.
But imagine how long that would take me to text all those people. So you have an open house. How long is that going to take you to text them? You can also attach an image to it if you want. Okay, so if it's an open house, maybe I'm going to attach like a social media post like that says, has a picture of the house and the day and the time or something like that, or even just a photo of the house. You know how on Fridays you get a text from the brokerage telling you what the classes are next week? This is how we're doing it. This is exactly how it's happening. Is it Sarah, sometimes me? We do exactly this and send that text out to everybody in the brokerage. Now, nobody asked this yet, but I'm going to answer it anyway. What if somebody gets that text from you and they decide to call you? Right? That happens, right? In Twilio, there's one of your settings that you can choose is for call forwarding. And if you turn that on, then your actual phone number will ring. And when you answer it, it'll say a Twilio number is because being connected or something. It says something like that, tells me it's Twilio. So I know that person is calling me they're calling my Twilio number and it got forwarded to my cell number. It uses, I think, 6 credits. So you saw it was like 300 and some credits a month. It uses, I think, 6 credits. And that might be per minute, so I don't stay on for very long, but at least, then I say, oh, let me call you right back for my cell number. And then I'm switched over. I can't imagine how you would do this, using your cell phone one thing at a time. But so this is me doing it my own, having to choose that. It's even better as part of a smart plan. So I'm going to show you some smart plans that I have that use texting. I'm going to preface this by saying that your screen's going to look different. And here's why. Some of you may know that I'm a labs advisor, which means that I am testing what command is going to be before you get it. So whatever I have in my command, in a few months, yours is going to look like this too, after they work out all the bugs. So smart plans are something that's right now it's getting worked on. So my smart plan is going to look totally different from where yours is. So don't worry about that part. Okay. If it looks different. So let me just give you an example of, okay, here's a sample Facebook ad. Let's just do this one. Okay, so I wrote a smart plan for running with Facebook ads. I have Jamila's asking if you didn't hear it on Zoom about how the Facebook ads look. Come back in 2 weeks. I have a whole class on Facebook ads, and that's in 2 weeks from now. And I'll show you them. That's the #3 lead source nationally. They do work. It's just you have to have a certain mindset for them because they're not instant. Okay, but anyway, let me get back to this. All right, so here's here's a smart plan that's gonna run whenever somebody clicks on my Facebook ad. So first of all, this happens automatically. I don't have to put them on the smart plan. Command does it for me, and it does it without me even knowing that it happened. All right, so I can't tell you how many times I've been doing something. I'm in my car, I'm at a settlement, I'm teaching a class, I'm doing whatever. And then when I get back to my computer, I'm like, oh, look, somebody responded to my Facebook ad and they're already texting me back, because of how this works. So day one, my first step is it sends a text. Hi, contact first name. So it'll put their first name in. Okay. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for taking a look at the house that I put on Facebook or whatever my text says. So this text just goes to them immediately. Now, I should say immediately, smart plans will only send text messages between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So if somebody's clicking on my Facebook ad at 3 a.m., it won't send them a text at 3 a.m. It'll wait till 8 a.m. to send the text. Okay. All right. So let's say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm driving. I don't know this is going on. They click to my Facebook ad. Command automatically sends them a text message, and they might reply to it right away. Then Command gives me a task to make a phone call, right? So I want to right away, speed to lead. That's the best way to have that lead work with you, because if they're reaching out to you, they're reaching out to lots of agents, right? So I want to call them right away. So I have those 2 tasks on day one. Again, your smart plan will look very different. Day 2, I give myself a task just to see if they put a fake phone number in. And then it sends them another text. Okay, and then on day 4, I'm making another phone call. And Command sends an email for me. Day 7, I have a task just to see if the email is working. And then I send another text. Again, I'm not doing it. Like, all this is happening with the only parts of this that I'm doing is when I have a task to make a phone call, I'm picking up the phone and dialing a call. That part I'm personally doing. All these emails and texts, Command just does it on its own without me knowing. And this goes on for 2 years for every single person that clicks on my Facebook ad. So it's pretty cool.
And you've got closings.
Yeah, so this smart plan is designed, all I want to do is talk to them. Once they call me, I take them off the smart plan. The smart plan is just designed for me to connect with them.
Okay.
But once we're in a conversation, I delete the smart plan and I might do a different smart plan, or I might just be calling them a certain amount of time. This smart plan is only for connecting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Twilio. It's not that long of a class because there's not that much, that you need to know about it. It's a matter of, usually in the class, we actually have to set it up, but your computer's not working and, Laura's, we couldn't do it today. But it won't take you that long. If you have any trouble, reach out to me, but it won't take you that long to get it going on your computer. And then if you come back, we don't have command class next week because of Thanksgiving, but the week after, my class is on Facebook ads. And the whole key to making Facebook ads or any other online lead work is to use smart plans to do all the heavy lifting, because these are leads that take a really long time, for them to respond to you. Yeah. So, hey, before everybody goes, I am trying to get certified as a Keller Williams approved trainer. It's a process. I've taken the classes I need to do. Now I have to teach a bunch of classes and get a bunch of course evaluations. So every time you teach a class with me, I'm going to be asking you to send me an evaluation. If you're in the room, I got a little handout with a QR code to do it. On Zoom, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to put the link, but if you don't mind, I would really appreciate it if you would, I'm going to put this in the chat, kwueval.com. And on that website, the first thing it's going to ask is what class it is, or it will ask your region. We're Maryland and DC. And then it's going to ask you what class it is. This goes under the category of 3 simple steps. This is the closest class to what we're doing, to using command. And then it's going to ask for who the instructor is. And since I'm not yet a Keller Williams University trainer, my name's not going to be in that list. So you have to scroll all the way to the bottom where it says instructor not in dropdown. And then they'll let you type my name in, which I'm typing here so that you can see how to spell it. And then it'll ask you, to evaluate the class. So I really appreciate it. I have to get a lot of these course evaluations before I receive this, this designation. So you're going to see me doing this a lot now. Any questions I can answer on Twilio or anything else command while we're doing this?
Kirsten, you said, I'm trying to do it now. You said
good.
Your name would be where?
It's not in the list because I'm not an instructor yet. So you have to go all the way to the bottom and to the option instructor not in drop down.
Okay. How do you spell your last name again?
It's S as in Sam, I-T-N-I-C-K. I got it in the chat too.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're driving, then, which maybe you're not because you're trying to. Yep.
I pulled over. I had stopped.
Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, that was all. That's all. I don't have any other questions. Thank you. I really wanted to know more about Twilio because I've seen it and I think it'll be very helpful. So I appreciate it.
So helpful. Just especially if you're going to get to a certain, when you only have 20 people in your command, you don't need it, right? It's pretty easy. The more and more people you get in your command and the more and more people you have as strangers, you really are going to need it because you just cannot keep up with all those people if you're having to manually send those texts. Way too much. And the cost is just like $3, Yeah, really good. We have a special deal with them to get it pretty cheap. Yeah, so next week is Facebook ads. And then in the first week of December, I'm going to combine 2 classes that I usually do separate and do them as one. And it's on goal setting and something else. I don't even remember what I'm doing. And then that'll be it for the year. And then we'll start the whole command series over again in January. All the way back to the beginning with contacts. And even if you're playing with command, it's worth coming to the class because there's some nice little tricks and things. Even if you play with it a lot, you'll probably learn some, better ways of doing things. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for coming to class today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and log out of the Zoom. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow at the potluck.